4th, 6:30. This is Catherine McKee, chairperson. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, Chapter 30A, Section 18, and the Governor's March 15, 2020 order imposing strict limitation on the number of people that may gather in one place. This meeting of the Southborough Trails Committee will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and the general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and/or parties with a right and/or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the town's Southborough's website at https://www.southboroughtown.com/. For this meeting, members of the public who wish to watch or participate in the meeting may do so in the following manner by finding the meeting at https://www.southboroughtown.com/remote meetings. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we're unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on Southborough's website an audio or video recording transcript or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. I will do a roll call of attendance. So we have Sati, are you present?
Yes.
And Tom McCollier?
Present.
Great. Okay. So I'll call the meeting to order. I guess I did that when we started, which was around 6:39 p.m. Okay. And so first order of business is to approve the minutes from the last meeting from May 20th. I circulated the minutes in record time. So has everyone had an opportunity to review those?
Yes.
Okay, can someone make a motion if there's no changes to approve?
Tom.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Okay, and second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and next we can talk about the Choate grant project status update. I can just give a quick summary of the approvals that we received and then let Tom take over where we are with the receptacles. And we have some sign decisions to make as well. So since our last meeting, we received approval from the Board of Selectmen to install the receptacles and the signage on the kiosk. So that was one step. DCR approved installation of the receptacles on at the locations we had determined, which was Route 30 near the causeway, also on Middle Road, and one more was at off of White. Oh, just the two for DC, just the two. Yeah, thank you.
Just because we couldn't afford that. That was my conversation with you going back and forth with the 4-inch versus 6-inch.
Yeah.
The 4-inch was so much cheaper.
Yeah, but it's too small, you think, to work?
I went to the place and they're gonna do. I called up. So the place where I normally buy my plumbing supplies is Framingham, called Republic Plumbing. And so I gave him a call and I also asked him if he can give me a discount.
Good.
If you don't ask, you don't get it. So he's gonna write up the order and stuff like that, and I'll let you know what the material comes out to be.
Okay.
And if we can squeeze in some more to do 3, I will. But I'll keep it within the budget that from the grant.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Tom.
But should we find out how much the stickers really cost? Maybe we can take a little bit money from the stickers.
Yeah, so the stickers I think were pretty inexpensive. It was on that, I thought it was the same site I looked at. It was like,
U.S. voting, something like that, U.S.
Yeah.
something or other.
So let me look into the stickers and actually go ahead and place an order for at least 2. And I thought they came in packs of 5 for some reason, and it was inexpensive, but let me revisit that. And I'll reach out to you, Tom, and coordinate and then place that order so that comes in at the same time. So Yeah, so the one warning that DCR did share was that they have some of these receptacles up on some of their locations, and they do get a lot of trash put in there. So we just have to monitor them. It's probably inevitable if we put up a thing that someone's going to put something inappropriate in there. But we'll do the best we can. And, there are some, prevention steps we can take, putting, I think it depends. Like if you need to get your hand in there, it has to be open enough to put something in there. So
Right.
we'll do our,
And that's why I looked at the 4-inch, and then I looked at the 6-inch, what I showed you a picture of. And you do need to put your hand in there.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be tough. So when you get the stickers, they also on the website has the one that says no trash. Were you planning to get that also?
I would like to. I think we should, do what we can. But if we can't afford with our money, we can make stickers, and laminate them and see how they go.
Okay.
Because that way we can do it in multiple languages if that's what we can make happen.
All right. So yeah, let me know how much of the budget I can bleed over for the pipes, and
Yep.
I'll see if I can get everything.
Okay, sounds good. And then the other thing, so remember I had mentioned I forgot to include cement. There might be another option. We might have another option, which I'll talk about shortly, that we can share some cement that we need for the post installation at Bayville. So there may be some leftover from that we can use for this project. So that will work out. So regarding the sign, I went back to Philip at Springer Sign Craft to talk to him about, initially he had quoted us the entire length, which was 47 inches all the way across the kiosk. And we had decided that we would like a 36-inch long sign that just extends to the map area. So he re-quoted or just redesigned it. And I also shared and measured with him the tricky dimension of the height of the sign. How tall will it be based on what we have to work with? There's a 5-inch board at the top of the kiosk. And so if with a 10-inch sign, it's going to overlap. So he's brought it down to 6 inches. And in some cases, or in most cases, we will have to remove the sign to remove the plexiglass. I'm calling it plexiglass, but we know it's polycarbonate glass, but it's just easier to say. So to remove the glass, we'll have to remove the sign, but hopefully our need to do that will be less than once a year. And he said he's going to install it with screws that will be easy to unscrew. So I think it's still going to work out. So
Who's that?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Who is doing?
So his name is Philip, and it's Springer Sign Craft. I think his name, and it was listed in the last minutes if you wanted to get the exact spelling of that. So I'm going to share my screen and show you the quote. So give me just a second to find that. I had it up, but I think it's just going to be a little tricky. So give me a second. Okay, let's see if this works. Oh. For some reason, it's not showing my PDF that I have up. So I'm going to try another option. Hang on. Okay. Let's try that. Oh, good. Here it is. Okay. Now, do you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. So this is the 36-inch wide, 6-inch tall. And the question is, do we want to see the text side by side or stacked? What's your
I
opinion,
kind of like it. I like it stacked.
Sati?
Yeah, this is fine. I mean, stacked one.
Yeah, I kind of like it straight, but I'll live with stacked. And I was thinking the reason is because if it's straight, then could the letters be a little taller? And
Oh, bigger letters.
and more visible from, say, when you're driving by or something like that. But he is
All
quoting
right.
1-inch letters, so I don't know. It just might be that he still fits the 1-inch letters. If you guys like the 2 levels, the stacked, and if he can keep it at the same size, then we can do stacked. Does that work?
No. I go what you said. I thought the letters would all be the same size. So if you can make the letters bigger going straight across, I think the visibility would be the biggest thing.
Yeah. Okay.
I
So-
agree with it. I agree with your logic.
If there's no difference, then would you prefer stacked?
Yeah. I mean, I personally like the stack, but I like the visibility better.
Okay.
I like
So-
the bigger letters. I think because that way there you can see it from a greater distance.
Yeah. So let me check. If there's no difference, I'll go with stacked. If there is a difference and we can get a little bit, if the letters are a little bigger straight across, then we can do that. But stacked is preferred. Okay. Thank you. And then I think, so he had quoted red cedar, and we had talked about that being the color of the stain, even if it's not going to quite match the kiosk. The kiosk is going to age over time. So can you see the screen I have up now?
Yes.
Yep.
Great. So he's given us some different options here of stain. I already feel overwhelmed, right? So does anyone have an opinion as you look at these on what we're going to be, on what our preference is?
Well, just keep in mind, this is just a general comment. So regular pressure treated kind of like goes gray.
Right.
It kind of like goes gray. It will not be green very long.
Yep.
So really, I think we should look at the what would go good with the gray over time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's just an FYI.
Yeah. No. Good point.
Then again, this is just me. I mean, any of those 4 colors in the middle on the left-hand side,
Yeah, the reddish colors.
I kind of like the reddish colors. It gives a nice contrast.
I
That's
do
great.
I do too. And actually Isabel, I'm going to channel her. She liked the red cedar idea. So the red stain, cedar stain. So I'm kind of with you. I like it's going to pop and stand out as the kiosk grays over time.
Third one is good though. This one on
The
the
what?
left, red oak.
The red oak.
No, it's second. Yeah, third one, right. Red
Is it-
oak.
Is it this?
No,
it
so
red oak?
no.
The third
no,
one down.
Third one down. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So Sedona, right? It is Sedona.
Yeah. Red oak 215. Okay. Got it. That was easy. Okay. Anything else on those? So next steps is, we're going to work in getting supplies, work on the signage. We might be able to do, depending if we can get everything lined up, we might be able to do the build out. Tom, do you think before our next meeting, depending on when that is in July?
It depends. I get vacation. I took a good chunk of vacation starting July 1st to the 9th.
Okay, that's fine.
So when's our next meeting going to be?
Probably late in July, and we can make it later the last week. And there's no real pressure. I mean, other than the season, I guess people fish here all, spring, summer, and fall, right? Yes. Yeah, so,
I will. I guess I should have said, give me a deadline.
Yeah.
I'm a great procrastinator unless I have a deadline.
Okay, so if we can, let's tentatively shoot. We'll schedule our meeting maybe for the end of July. Let's tentatively shoot to try to get it by then. And I'll work with you offline because we have to coordinate anyway with the signage and things like that. So why don't we work offline? Okay, perfect.
Yep. So I will try to get them done definitely by the second week of July. And if the stickers come in, we'll have everything done.
Yeah. So are you going to do them by yourself, or are you going to invite any of your committee members to physically distance with masks and help you?
I am going to invite, if anybody wants to come by, they're more than willing. If anybody wants to come by and do one of them, they're more than willing. What I'll do is, to make things easier, I'll cut the pipe into the 2 feet length.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's really the cement glue.
Yep.
For the top and the bottom, and then the other one is, and then drilling some holes for the drainage.
Yeah.
And then the only other holes we'll drill is how we attach it to the post.
Yep. Okay.
So I did take many pictures of the one down in Narragansett, how they attach it to a post.
Oh, how did they?
So basically, they drilled right through it with a good, I would say, a 1/2-inch hole, and they had a long. They have that extension with a socket set, like a regular socket set with a log head to it, and they just bolted it that way. It was relatively simple. A couple of lag bolts. I have plenty of those at my house somewhere.
So do the bolts go through the front of the tube all the way through to the post?
Yes, and it attaches to the back side of the post.
So it's a pretty big bolt?
Yeah. Oh yeah, because if the post is say it's going to be a 4x4 post, then that bolt would be a 3.5-inch.
Okay, cool.
I like I said, I looked at it pretty closely. I pretty much know how they did it to make it really secure. So what we could do is we could even install it to the post. Well, we don't know how deep it is. That's the only thing, how deep the hole will be.
Well, we might actually, Tom, on the Route 30 Causeway one, we might have an opportunity to attach it to some existing structure, maybe?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we could do it. What structure you're thinking about? Oh, that post with the fence?
Well, I want to be careful not to, make anyone angry that owns the post with the fence. But it might be an opportunity, like if there's something there, because they put a fence in. There's also other structures, so we might want to swing by and just take a look and do an eyeball. If we can save on post cost, then we just bought ourselves some extra room to maybe do a third one. Are you there?
And the horse in the cart? Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes. I heard horse in the cart.
So should we find out where we're going to put it and how much more material we need? Because we can offset some of this stuff. Like you said, I thought it was buying 2 posts, but if we could put it to an existing post, then we just freed up more money to make 3 of them.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, let's take a look. I can swing by sometime this weekend and take some pictures for everybody to look at and see if we can make a decision that way. So I can plan to do that. Okay, anything else on that? Nope. Okay. So next item is Spring Trails cleanup status update. And so the last.
Check it out.
What was
I was
that?
gonna say, I'm available tomorrow.
So you're breaking up a little bit, Tom?
So,
Can you hear me, Tom? Hello? Are you there, Tom? You're having a little audio issue.
Nothing.
Are you there, Tom?
Nothing I said.
Tom?
Let me dial back in.
Okay. Yeah, I think the red oak Sati will look nice.
Right, yeah.
Mhm.
So the,
Oh, wait,
so
if you,
how big is the post too?
actually, if you mean the third one down, that's Sedona red.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me,
Sedona red.
yeah,
No,
Sedona.
my bad, because it is the names are below the,
Yeah, it's a little
they're
confusing.
not, yeah, they're confusing, so.
But when I was saying red oak, I was looking at Sedona. So
Yeah,
I'm,
Sedona,
okay. You're back,
right.
Tom. Oh, wait, you're muted. Unmute. Okay. Okay, you're back.
Sorry, I'm back. I do apologize. I think I'm the only one in Southborough that has a dead spot at his house.
Okay. So you were saying something about you're available tomorrow or something.
If anybody's around, do we want to go take a look at that causeway, see if we can do it tomorrow? I'm just throwing that out there.
You mean do a quick site visit tomorrow?
Yeah,
What time?
morning or evening, free for both. Afternoon. I mean, I'm working from home tomorrow, like most people, so I can scoot out at lunchtime. It shouldn't take that long. It's up to. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I think I could do it. I'm trying to think. Tomorrow's kind of, it's going to be a quick visit, so I could do a lunchtime thing. Sati, what's your availability?
Mine is like the whole day it is meetings. Friday would be fine.
Friday's fine. What's Friday like, Tom? Are you in your dead spot again? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not. I'm here. I'm here. Friday's not good for me.
Okay. So, Sati, would you be comfortable if we took pictures and shared?
Yeah, that'd be nice. No problem.
So Tom, let's connect offline to see what exact time, and I can shoot down there really quickly, and then we don't have a quorum issue. And we won't.
Oh yeah, that's true. So yeah, 3 of us can't go.
Yeah. Well, we could go. We just can't deliberate. We would just sit in silence. We follow the rules here.
Sorry.
Okay. So thank you. So we'll do that. I'm gonna coordinate. I'll coordinate with you after. Coordinate time.
Okay.
With Tom. Okay. And then so spring trails cleanup, the last status update was my husband and I were going to clean up Partridge Hill. We did not get to that since the last meeting, but we will be getting to it before our next July meeting. So we'll just go down some weekend and chop up the trees and clear the path.
Partridge Hills. You mean which one's Partridge Hills? I'm drawing a blank.
Partridge Hill is off of White Bagley, right at the waterway, where you cleaned up the trash.
Secret Island.
Yeah, the Rock Island, you're calling it?
No, Secret Island.
It's Secret Rock Island. How about that?
I like it. I like it.
So yeah, we'll try to take care of that in the next month. And he's actually in the kitchen listening to me now, so he'll help us out. Thank you, Tom. So Tom, my husband. So the next item is Fayetteville Athletic Field. So we have confirmation of the donation of supplies. I have approval. I understand the process of how to get the supplies donated. So I think what I need to do, so I've also connected with Fay School. I'm going to do I'm going to try to schedule a walkthrough on Friday morning before work with them to identify the locations. And so then we will purchase the supplies, and Fay School will do the installation, and then we'll blaze the sign, just blaze the posts. So we're looking at putting maybe 3 or 4 posts between Parkerville and Middle Road to help, because most of that is abutting athletic fields. So we're trying to just establish this is a trail, walk on the side here. And then on the Parkerville side, it does get a little confusing as you're coming off the street where the trail is. So it will help that a little bit, be more clear. So what we need to do is I need someone to make a motion to proceed with accepting a donation of supplies, which include posts, cement, and post caps. So it's about $85, roughly $85. And we're gonna, so I need someone to make a motion to accept the donation. And then we're going to move forward, working with Fay School to install the post.
I mean, I'll make the motion to accept the donation to install the posts and signage between Parkerville and Middle Road with the Fay School doing the installation.
And did you say accept the donation?
Yes, that was in the beginning part.
Yes, sorry. Thank you. And second thing,
I second it.
thank you. Okay, so that's great. And that should be done. I think we can probably get that done in the next month too. So that would be great progress for that piece. Thank you. Moving along, we have the Central Mass Regional Planning Commission, the interactive online regional trails map opportunity. They had reached out in March. I've not heard back from them. So I did reach out and ask them if they were still interested in doing the project. Were they planning to do it this year? And how would they like us to, can we get involved? Can we help? And essentially that's just getting an interactive online map for the Central Mass regional area, and it would include Southborough. So it'd be really great to have that happen. So I'm just waiting on a reply. I'll have an update for us in July. Okay, so next step is any questions or on that? Next piece is the Burroughs Loop Trail and the Peninsula area, the Peninsula Trail for the Burroughs Loop status update and next steps. When I reached out to DCR, I asked them if I let them know that the MWRA had taken the old Orrin Nichols residence house down, and he was aware of that. And I also asked if they had any updates on making that land accessible to the public. And he said that things have been put on hold. Many things have been put on hold due to COVID. So that means we're on hold again. So my next step is to, I would like to schedule a call with Jamie, who is the watershed director for this area, and ask him, just kind of explain to him where we're at, that this has been, the Burroughs Loop Trail has been in the works for about 10 years. And DCR, has offered and said that they would be doing this. So what could our strategy be to help move things along? Recognizing that obviously their hands are tied with their priorities and stuff, but it really feels like it's been a long time in the making. So we just need to try to move things along. Basically, when we got the master plan committee, just for example, received, we had a survey, the town responded, there was about, how many, was it 200 and almost 300, Tom?
Yeah, 289, I think it was.
Yeah, and one comment specifically stood out as a sting, and it was basically, why haven't we finished our connection to the Burroughs Loop Trail? It's embarrassing, So I get that, and we want to try to, do what we can to keep the pressure on in a kind, but appropriate way, so that we're not making enemies, but that we're also, a bit of a squeaky wheel, because we're not moving forward right now. And if we lose another year, it's going to get further and further down the line. So we do want to see what we can do. I'm going to schedule a call, talk to him, see what we got, and then go from there.
Should we actually invite him to one of our meetings so that it's not just you, it's the whole committee talking and updating it? I don't know if that would make a difference. It's a question.
That's a really good idea. I could definitely offer him to, join our meeting, and he doesn't have to be here for a long time. But maybe I think that would be a great idea to have him meet the rest of the committee. And we might want to even bring in other people, invite others, like maybe a board of selectmen, for example.
Yes, in that way there, because it's all Zoom. So flexibility should be there instead of driving to the meeting and all that. So
Yeah.
just an idea.
Yeah, no, I like it because we did have a group meeting in 2017. I think it was, Sati, you were there, right? Did you go?
Yes.
Yes. It was in Boston, and it was MWRA, DCR, and the Trails Committee. And we all met, and it was all, everyone was gung ho and everyone was on board. And now it's 2020 and we're in the same situation. We haven't moved anywhere, except the Orrin Nichols house is down, which that's a huge progress, right?
Right.
Yes.
So yeah, thank you for that suggestion. I am going to definitely invite him to join our meeting and see if that would work. Yeah, thank you. And actually, I should ask, in case evenings don't work for him for some reason, can we be flexible depending on, to meet in the morning? Or I think, Sati, I think you have morning restrictions. Is that right?
Morning, what time?
Like at 8, 7:30 or 8,
7:30 is fine.
7:30 to 8:30 is fine.
Yep.
8 would be hard.
8 would be hard because if we are like going for 1 hour, because all my meetings start at 8:30.
Okay, got it.
But it depends on like if you are doing on Wednesday or Monday or Friday, it's fine.
Okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, got it. And then if he has to, if 7:30 is too early for him and he wants to join us at 8, then we can start our meeting and he can join it.
Okay.
So
Yep.
Let's think about that as a way of being flexible for timing, and that might be that's a great idea. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Okay, so along those lines, I think separate from them, I think we should be looking at the CPA again, the application. We were talking about this last year. The application should be in the works now, I think, and usually the deadline is September or something like that. So I think we should be approaching CPA and with an application for funding for the fencing outside of the DCR grant. Like, let's pretend the DCR grant isn't around and we just go for this funding. And then if we do the grant in January and we happen to have approval, or we can't get approval for the application until town meeting, but if we have the support of CPA, it may be something we can leverage as possible in-kind support. So I'm just going to separate the two and not let them be dependent upon each other, and just let's see what we can get. So what that means is I was going to reach out to Isabel and see if she could confirm the current application and the deadline so that we can be working to it. And then I need to get back to the Arrow fencing quote and answer some questions and get that in the door. Because I think if I'm not mistaken, that quote's going to come in well above 10,000. And what that means is, and I don't know how this works with a grant, like if we have to go out to bid on the project and get multiple quotes, then we have to build in that time frame. So I need to understand.
Right. But we can still do the grant for the dollar amount. I think that's the key.
Yeah.
Whoever fulfills it, we want Arrow because they've been good to us, but.
And they know MWRA, they've worked with MWRA, they know their specs, and it's a really valuable relationship, right?
Oh, and you can write in the spec for the quote saying, need previous work experience with government agency, including MWA and then DCR. So that way it'll exclude your, other people that don't do work for the state.
That's thinking smart. Good. Okay, so I'll reach out to Isabel and see if she can help us do that. And I'll also reach out to Arrow. So I would hope to have an update by the next meeting. So let's see if we can move forward. And that would be fencing. And I think we can also put in there, some historical markers, some signage and things like that.
Yes.
For some of that stuff.
Yes, definitely.
Other business before the committee. So I was approached, I received an email from a former Trails Committee member who actually reached out in May around this time last year, Tony Schooner. I think he was one of the original committee members. So he asked if he could help in any way. He saw an article in the in a local newspaper, maybe the Community Advocate, and said, I'll read his email. Well, maybe I won't. He just said if there's anything he can do, he'd love to help. So I said to him, I invited him, I said, you're welcome to join our meetings, monthly meetings. And I did share with him that we were looking into an option of having people, non-voting members, participate in our committee, be listed on the website, but just not looking to increase quorum needs. And he probably gets that from being on the committee from before. So I asked him if he wanted to chat about his interest and stuff. So we'll see if he does want to join us, because I think that would be a valuable asset to have someone who used to be on the committee.
Yeah.
He probably worked with DCR to set up these agreements that we're now working under, because that's what the original committee spent a lot of time doing, is getting all those agreements in place with DCR and MWA. So that was kind of nice to have someone come out of the woodwork to help. And so I would like to try to get him on board if we can. And so that means, I think Isabel was working with Jim Hegarty to understand the process about adding non-voting members. So we'll have to go in front of the board of selectmen and make a request. So I'll work with her and see if she can help kind of figure out what those steps need to be. Is it just, how do we articulate what we're looking for?
Mm-hmm. Hey, just a quick update. I know it got put on hold back in the spring because of the whole COVID, but I did reach out to the assistant principal at Essabet about what they can do, and he just politely asked me, can we reconnect in the beginning part of August?
Oh, good.
So I started the dialogue. I'm gonna circle back in the beginning of August, and like I said, the meeting there is to investigate what skills, talents, things that their students can do, so that we can have a list of things and we can pick and choose what makes sense for us, because I don't know all the stuff that they do anymore.
Right. Well,
besides your shops.
Yeah, I think, and I'm thinking there's shops too, like the town forest. Even though we don't oversee the town, they do have trails, and they could use some boardwalks and bridges, if the shop wanted to make some of that would be really cool. So, thinking about along those lines. Also a kiosk, like if we were looking for the stewardship committee that oversees Breakneck Hill, they were looking at an Eagle Scout had come forward and asked about rebuilding the kiosk there. And then that hasn't materialized. So we're going to still reach out to the Boy Scouts and see. But for example, if the shop wanted to do that as a project, we'd be open to that too. So it might be
right, exactly that. And the other stuff that I was thinking of was more on the apps. There's an app called All Trails. They want to see how they can start doing stuff around that. Something to do with more we'll call it the web stuff, the apps on phones, smartphones. And I want to see what kind of talents they have for plaques. Like you said, once the Aqueduct Trail opens up, that was really cool when he was explaining, oh, look down here, this was East Main and stuff like that. So again, I'm just pie in the sky, instead of like I have a wooden thing that kind of like gets corroded over time. If their metal shop does something really cool, that it's more there for a lifetime or two. Those are the kind of things, both the web-enabled apps and the smartphones, and also, do they need specific projects around a metal shop and stuff like that. And also with the kiosks, but I think the Boy Scouts have been doing a good job with that lately. Especially those last few ones. I thought they were very outstanding.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, so thank you, Tom.
So I just want to put that in the minutes that I'm going to reconnect in the beginning of August.
Yep.
Got it. Thank you. Okay, one last thing. It came up in the Board of Selectmen meeting last night was DPW is going after Mass DOT grants. There's some grants that are available, and it's really focused around sidewalk building and things like that. But they score points for meeting certain criteria. And it had to do with connecting, if they extend sidewalks, for example, down Route 85, does that better connect the trails and things like that? So there might be an opportunity, or we may hear from them on this topic. So I don't have any more to say about that. I did quickly read or listen to the meeting before our meeting today to just get a little more information, but there may be an opportunity. I'm not sure what it is. That might come up from that point of view.
Just a quick thing, if they do approach you and stuff like that, and what they can add into the grant, the sidewalk grant,
Yep.
is like a better signage for the crossing of the trail. So if the sidewalk does go down past the, like, say, the cemetery, and then better signage and across, what do you call it, crosswalk paintings in the street to better signify, going from one trail to the other.
So there is a crosswalk at that location right now. Do you mean just making
A
it
better,
more
better,
pronounced?
yes, more
Yeah.
accessible. Because isn't there a guardrail on the other side that could be opened up?
Well, there is a guardrail. Whether it can be opened up, whether you want to open it up right there is a question, because I believe it could be infested with poison ivy right along the edge there, right? So you might be better off on the roadside anyway.
Okay.
But to your point, let's take a look at it. But making sure that the crosswalks are high, low, really visible is really
Yeah, signage and crosswalks.
Got it. Okay, great. So I think that is, that's all we have right now. I will just mention the master plan committee, the visioning section for the master plan has come through. And so there may be some review that we ask the committee to do of that section, but I'm just giving you a heads up that that's coming. We're going to redline it and then talk about it in the next master plan committee meeting, which is July 1st. So stay tuned to anything that might come related to that stuff. So
Is that on the July 1st meeting, is to review from the stuff? I thought that was pushed out a little bit.
did we move it?
No, the meeting is still on July 1st, but I thought the feedback from the individual committees was not for that meeting.
Yeah, I don't think, well, we haven't.
Because we haven't discussed it as the master planning committee.
Exactly. So we haven't discussed it as a group. That's why it's more of a heads up. It's coming and.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. I agree with you. That's why I'm not distributing it. I'm just like, well, at this point we need to give feedback and do some red lines before we, because I think any comments that the group would have, this committee would have, is going to come up in the master plan committee first.
Yep.
And then the group can share after they see a more final version of what it would look like.
Agreed.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else that we haven't talked about that we should? Okay, great. Okay, well, thank you, everyone. I'll call the meeting. Do I have a motion to close the meeting? Someone want to move to adjourn?
No, I think we should just hang out.
Okay. All right, so I'll take that as Tom's doing the move. to
I will
adjourn.
make the motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:22 p.m.
Thank you. And do we have a second?
Yes, second.
Great. Thank you, guys. I appreciate everyone's help tonight.
When
All right.
when is the next meeting?
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Oh,
Oh, were we supposed to do that before we adjourn? I don't know. Okay, so let's see. We wanted to put it further out in July. So let's look at the last week in July. How about, and it will depend on if Jamie, if we invite DCR and they can join us. So it might mean we need to move it around a little bit. This will be kind of a tricky thing to schedule. So
just have a placeholder and then we'll.
yeah. So how about Thursday, the 30th, July 30th? Wait, Thursday. There's actually, let's do, if we could do Wednesday, it's not likely, Tom, do you think we'll have a second master plan committee in July?
no, I don't think so.
Okay, so let's try Wednesday, the 29th. How does that work for you guys?
Good.
Okay, so we're gonna hold 2 slots just now for 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. and then for 6:30 to 7:30 p.m.
Correct.
Okay.
And I'll see what Jamie can do, and I'll reach out to Louisa and Isabel to make sure they can do it too.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tom, I'll be in touch, and you guys have a great weekend.
You too.
Right.
Thanks.
Bye. Thanks, Phyllis.